From recklessly using your skate blade as a weapon, to getting caught by the other team for using illegal stick tape, NHL players have been caught cheating several times. Now, if we're being honest, they've been caught cheating off the ice too, but that's a story for another video. In this video, we're focusing on on-ice moments, so let's dive in and take a look at NHL players caught cheating. MarkAndre Flurry. MarkAndre Flurry got caught cheating during the Vegas Golden Knights' 4-1 loss in Winnipeg back in January of 2019. After exiting his net during a timeout with less than 3 minutes remaining in the third period, Flurry doubled back and used his stick to build up a modest wall of snow in front of his net. The officials apparently were paying attention to this because they skated over to his net and destroyed the wall of snow Flurry had constructed. After clearing the crease, the official then skated over to the Vegas bench and Flurry was shown chuckling behind his glove alongside his teammates and coach Gerard Gallant. So how is this cheating and does it actually help? I mean, if a puck is going top shelf, it doesn't help at all. But if the shot is going 5-hole and trickles through their pads, it's certainly gonna make a difference. Jason Spezza. On March 9, 2009, the Toronto Maple Leafs head coach Ron Wilson called for a measurement of Jason Spezza's stick while the Leafs were down 1 goal with 2 minutes left to play. Spezza had a feeling that the refs were going to come check on his stick, so the Senator snapped his stick and headed for the bench. That wasn't enough for Spezza to escape this situation, as the referee followed him and confiscated the stick. After measuring the stick, it was determined that Spezza actually shaved down his blade, and he was assessed a 2-minute penalty. The Leafs were still playing to win, and coach Ron Wilson said he tried to reward that effort by getting his team on a power play, pointing out that Spezza's stick was a doctored blade. Wilson said, "Our players competed like heck. I wanted at the end to give our guys a chance to win. The guy is using a stick that's not only illegal, but dangerous. I had an opportunity to call it, so I did." Responding to Coach Wilson's accusations, Spezza had this to say. "Real dangerous, I guess," he said sarcastically. "They told me the blade was too skinny. I shaved them down to be skinnier." The problem, as officials found, was indeed that the height of Spezza's blade was below regulation as it approached the toe. Wilson said he's been aware all season that the center was using an illegal stick. When all this was said and done, the Maple Leafs failed to convert on the power play and lost the game anyway. Anton Khudobin. Dallas Stars goaltender Anton Khudobin had to make an unplanned equipment change after his stick tape was found to be illegal. While players are allowed to use any color stick tape they want, goalies are a bit more restricted, at least when it comes to their stick knob. NHL Rule 10.2 covers goalie sticks, saying in the case of a goalkeeper stick, there shall be a knob of white tape or some other protective material approved by the league. This knob must be less than a ½ an inch thick at the top of the shaft. Failure to comply with this provision of the rule will result in the goalkeeper's stick being deemed unfit to play. The Calgary Flames reportedly notified the officials of Khudobin's violation, prompting a tape change for the Dallas netminder. Somehow, Khudobin was allowed to make only a minor modification with a band of white tape on the knob. Khudobin is not the only goalie in the league to get caught doing this. Former Toronto Maple Leaf goalie Frederik Andersen was found in violation during a regular season game a few years back, and same for former Oiler Ben Scrivens back in 2014. In any case, this move from the Calgary Flames did not seem to rattle Khudobin whatsoever, as the Dallas Stars ended up taking the win 5-4 in overtime. Now, before we move on, we have one other highlight of another cheating moment that Khudobin actually got away with. In a penalty shot against the Vancouver Canucks' Elias Pettersson, Anton Khudobin goes for the stick check, but instead of doing the old-fashioned poke check, he decided to straight up throw his stick. Now, that should be an automatic goal, right? Wrong. The refs did not seem to think it was an illegal play, and the shootout just continued on like nothing happened. Roman Yosi. Roman Yosi wowed everyone in that arena by making a glove save during the first period of the Predators game against the Dallas Stars. Now, this was an unbelievable play with the Nashville goalie out of the net, but was it legal? The 2023-24 NHL rulebook covers penalties, penalty shots, and awarded goals for interference with the puck under certain circumstances. Now, after seeing this play by Roman Yosi, majority of people felt that there should have been a penalty shot, which would be covered under Rule 64.4 that states if a defending player, except a goalkeeper, while play is in progress, falls on the puck, holds the puck, picks up the puck, or gathers the puck into his body or hands from the ice in the goal crease, the play shall be stopped immediately and a penalty shot shall be awarded to the non-offending team. Now, looking at this replay, it's difficult to tell from the TV angle whether or not Roman Yosi fully grabs this puck. Now, this play lies in a gray area, as Yosi neither skated with the puck nor covered the puck with his hand while it was on the ice, so the question remains simply whether he held it, and it seems like he got rid of it as quickly as possible instead of just holding on to it. But still, with all this being said, Roman Yosi is clearly grabbing the puck, and that justifies a penalty shot. Brad Marshon. Obviously, Brad Marshon is in this video. The guy has spent his entire career pushing the boundaries, and this time he went a little too far and still managed to get away with it. In the second round matchup where the Bruins faced off against the Blue Jackets, before a neutral zone faceoff, Brad Marshon lined up against Columbus's Cam Atkinson on the wing. Before the linesman was set to drop the puck, Marshon lifted his right skate and stomped down on the stick of Cam Atkinson. Unfortunately for Marshon, the linesman did not drop the puck, and he instead booted Bergeron off the faceoff dot. That gave Atkinson the time to realize that his stick had actually been broken. Atkinson protested loudly to the linesman to explain what happened, and a referee had to step in after Atkinson violently waved his stick in anger. He then made his way to the bench to grab a new stick, and on his way back to the faceoff dot, Atkinson bumped Marshon, who spun around and caught Atkinson with a stick near the neck. How does this guy continuously get away with these antics? Commenting on the play after the game, Mike Rupp had this to say: "I think Brad Marchand's got to be careful because this is old Brad Marchand. Listen, you're flirting with the referee there saying you won't call this because it's overtime. You're putting your team in a bad spot when you do something dumb like that. Just play between the whistle." When asked to comment on the play, Marchand said, "Yeah, I think he was trying to doll up my blade there, send me to the room to get it sharpened. It's kind of rude of him to do." Man, Brad Marchand has to be the biggest troll the league has ever seen. Matt Murray. During his time with the Maple Leafs, Matt Murray was actually under investigation by the NHL for a cheating scandal. In what was his first season with the Leafs, Matt Murray was accused of purposely loosening his net in order to be able to easily kick it off its posts. Doing this would give the Maple Leafs an unfair advantage because when a net becomes dislodged, it stops to play, and some goals could be taken off the board for that reason. When the Maple Leafs faced off against the Philadelphia Flyers, Murray was noticed in the Situation Room during a TV timeout playing with the net. This caught the attention of sports journalist Michael Russo as he tweeted this: "It was noticed in the Situation Room last night Murray was wiggling the net during TV timeout. League is actually testing nets coming up, but also clipping goalies taking nets off moorings and bringing examples to GM's meeting in March." On November 25th, the Maple Leafs took on the Minnesota Wild, and during this game, Matt Murray's net became dislodged 3 times. Wild head coach Dean Evason was very frustrated with the situation and questioned why Murray did not receive any repercussions after the net came off its moorings 3 different times. Evason believes that one incident in particular wasn't an accident and added that the Wild goaltending coach said this was a trend for Matt Murray. After the Wild lost 4-3 in Toronto, Evason told reporters, "You can't knock the net off 3 times and not get anything out of it. It doesn't make any sense. We have offensive time in there and sustained time. We could get more opportunities and all of a sudden it stalled out and the momentum's gone and whatever. I don't understand it." On the other side of things, Matt Murray told reporters, "I don't know what's going on there. I use the net to push off all the time. For whatever reason, tonight it just came off a little bit easier." 2 days before this Wild game, Matt Murray and the Leafs faced off against the New Jersey Devils, and the Devils were looking to make franchise history by extending their win streak to 14 games. During this game, 3 goals against the Maple Leafs were overturned, and the Leafs ended up winning 2-1. Adding insult to injury, of course, you guessed it, the net was again dislodged during a goal, and fans were not happy about it, throwing trash all over the ice. The Las Vegas Golden Knights. Gary Bettman and the NHL issued a memo to all 32 NHL teams regarding the way they would be using their LTIR cap relief. The object behind that was to eliminate the teams that wanted to have players on the LTIR and activate them only once the playoffs kick in. This became a hot-buttoned issue as the Vegas Golden Knights captain Mark Stone returned for the playoffs, and the timing was a little suspicious. Stone was on the LTIR the entire season as the Knights took advantage of his $9.5 million cap hit relief using every cent available. Then the postseason rolls around and Mark Stone is now available to practice with his teammates. Something doesn't seem right. NHL insider Frank Saravalli says, "I don't think anyone questions the severity of Mark Stone's back injury, but I think many opponents will question the timing of his return after the Golden Knights spent $7.25 million of Stone's cap hit on LTIR." Golden Knights aside, the LTIR usage had been heavily talked about ever since the Lightning used it to their advantage in a major way. Now this technique is well known across the league, and by the statements divulged by the league, it's fair to think that they are considering adopting a change to limit it. Frank Saravalli recently went on the Oilers Now podcast and dropped some major news about the Vegas Golden Knights and alluded to more potential cheating. He said, "I think Nolan Patrick was maybe a bit healthier than the Vegas Golden Knights might have let on. The allegations have sparked discussions about the Oilers' performance in the playoff series against the Golden Knights, and if cap manipulation indeed occurred, it could have impacted the Oilers' ability to compete effectively. This is something the NHL certainly needs to figure out as soon as possible before it gets out of hand." Thanks for watching our videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.